Good afternoon, my name is Tasman and I will be your host for today's episode of NZ Wild Adventures. Today will be slightly different. I'll be making a custom rifle stock for my Tikka T3 in 270 Winchester. So this is the factory stock, and I think it'd be quite cool if I can make my own that was sort of like slightly more suited to my hand. I think I'll cut a bit extra out here, have a cheek plate here, and have that like stick forwards a little bit more. So glue together some bits of wood. The more clamps the better, right? This is the part that was glued on, and sort of roughed out a basic shape. So now I use a combination of tools. I'm not sure which ones yet, but I guess we'll see. To make something like this out of this. So yeah, enjoy, follow along. It's not really that much to it, is there? Trigger guard. So I heard this part is the weakest part, so I sort of angle it downwards so it's sort of straighter, maybe. Time for the jigsaw. So the first step will be to integrate this bad boy into the stock and then sort of carve everything else around it, because I think that'll be easier to figure out. It's quite tricky to make the gun bit fit the wood part, but just getting it like even down with that thing, which is where the important stuff happens. Just like in there, good. It's tricky. It's tricky, man. At the very start, I jigsawed a little bit too much out, so that's why that goes down there, which is less than ideal, but oh well, I can live with it. Changing it. And this is only take one, so. The time has come to insert the trigger guard. So I've started to put it into there. I think that's the right place. It's moderately parallel. safety still works. So just going to widen out the part, which makes the part around the barrel so it's actually a fully floating barrel. Alright, so this little bit of aluminium here slots into the gun bit chamber, I suppose, here, and so I need to get that bit, I need to put that bit into this stock, the new stock, so that that bit can slot into it and like impart the force to the rest of the stock, something like that. Don't really know, but it just slides right out, so I just need to make a slot that's like, you know, oval shaped to go about here somewhere, preferably in exactly the right spot, but that's very tight, but I don't know, we'll see how we go. See that bit there, that raised part is the bit that we need to slot out for the aluminium piece, and then that way I can take both stocks hunting just in case this one breaks in half, and then I can just take that and put it back in the other stock. Some holes have been drilled. Now we chisel them out with the chisel. Well, it's pretty far down, so we'll see what it looks like. I think it'd be good if it contacted both the aluminium and the wood at the same time. So I think we'll just tighten that up and see what it looks like. And I think hopefully that there's enough grain running through here that I won't have to strengthen this part. I've seen before that you can put a rod in that bit because it's technically the weakest part. But hopefully made it so we don't need to do that. Yeah, so now this is all fitting pretty well, we can get started on the bodywork. And I still don't really know how I'm going to do that. I've seen people using rasps, I don't have any, and I've seen people, no, I've only seen people using rasps, so maybe I should buy a rasp. But I might use a combination of tools, we'll see how we go. It's pretty exciting. So I've roughed out the general shape of the stock with the skill saw, with the circular saw, and a bit of planing. So now it looks like this. So now continue with the belt sander, and hopefully that will work pretty well. But we'll see. I actually think it's not looking too bad. So a bit of belt sanding, a bit of hand sanding. I'll add some like cross-hatching stuff here and on the grip. Now I'm gonna screw this buttstock on. This is an old one from my dad's Tikka, so it's gonna go there, 25.5, pretty close. Right, this is the tool that I'll be using with a 80 grit belt. So I just sanded it with 180 with the orbital sander. It's looking pretty nice. There's a couple of shakes here. There's a couple of shakes, which I think I might fill with this black wood filler. Because I think black wood filler looks better than wood coloured wood filler. Alright, now we need some sort of textured something like this on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these to cut outline, and then I'm going to use this glass cutter to make the actual pattern of the thing, because it's got like this little V-shaped rolling cutter, and it makes a nice like little dent like so. So I'm going to cut an outline and then do that on the inside, and then that should be the texture for the grippy part. So now we need a thingy like that there, and I don't know what it should be like. There's quite a few different designs out there on the internet. Needs to look at least a bit elegant, right? Right, now that I've carved those thingies in the outline of the grip, I can sand the stock to, I'd probably go to like 1,000 or something like that. Get a nice smooth finish for the oil. I think it's looking pretty good. Could be, some of the lines could be cleaner, but no, I think pretty happy with it so far. So just finishing on a 1500 grip. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. messy for the first couple, but the rest a bit more even. So it's definitely not perfect, but it'll do. It's definitely quite grippy, which is nice. So yeah, I mugged up the first couple of lines, both sides actually. Now I'm gonna do the same thing down here. I just got to do the other side. That went pretty well. I've done the grip stuff. It's feeling very smooth. So now I'm going to cut the groove for the bolt. So that part there is the worst gap. My chisel work at the start could have been slightly better, but overall, very stoked. Albert and I are going to head down to Haast Pass this weekend, probably for a longer trip. So next episode is just going to be a short filler video while we get ourselves sorted, make some more content. But after that, we'll be back to the regular scheduled Albert and Tasman shenanigans. But yeah, super happy with how this went. Can't wait to try it out. So that's the end of this rifle stock build. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoy our content, we post weekly videos of fresh shenanigans. So please consider liking and subscribing. Cheerio.